So you're thinking about making the dream of moving to Italy into your reality. Let's talk about that one for a little bit. Hey, what's up? I'm Rafael di Furia, aka Rafi D is me, and I am back at it again on another beautiful Friday night. This week I'm going to be answering some questions that I got in an email from Rob L, who was asking me about Jure Sanguinis moving to Italy. He would also be coming to Italy with his wife, and other various factors that you'll hear about in a second. But before we get too deep into the video, if you would like to see more content about moving to Italy, Italian citizenship, and more, please be sure to subscribe with that notification bell turned on, and if you could also give this video a like, I would really appreciate it, as it does help out the channel. The email that I received was actually pretty long, so we're only going to be going over part of it, and I'll paraphrase things here and there just to save time. So at the beginning of Rob's message, he says, "Salve, Rafael. Ciao, Rob. I enjoy what you are doing because you are realistic and remind people that everyone needs to find their own answers. You're just offering your experiences and impressions." And yes, thank you for recognizing that. I'm not here with all of the answers, just everything I talk about, this is just happens to be what I know from my own experience. And there are so many people that get caught up in la bella vita and la dolce vita, but it's so important to remember la vita reale, the real life. My wife and I are planning to move to Italy soon, and I will not be retired and intend to work part-time, but not like here in California. And then he goes on to list like what sort of work that he does. And then also his wife would be interested in working here, something that requires Mandarin skills since she's Taiwanese and can work quite easily in Mandarin. So there are a couple things to think about if you're wanting to work here in Italy. The most important thing for you, your wife, or whoever may be watching this video is to make sure that you are legally able to work in Italy, that you have the legal right to be able to do so. For people who are not of Italian descent and are not from the EU, this usually comes through getting a work contract through an Italian employer and then being able to get all the permissions and visas that are required. It's not the easiest just to come here to Italy. But if you've already gone through Jure Sanguinis, then you can start working right away. All you need to make sure is that you have the Codice Fiscale. But if you want to know more about getting the Codice Fiscale, the Italian fiscal code, I uploaded a video a few months ago about that, and after this video, you can go down to the more info section and there will be a link down there. And that way, also, if you are somebody who is already an Italian citizen and you have a spouse, then you can maybe take care of Jure Matrimoni, and that's going to be very important that your spouse will be able to also move here. I'm assuming people who are married intend to actually be together, but hey, maybe that's just me. But if you're about to go through the Jure Sanguinis process, there is something very important to consider. You're not technically allowed to work while you're going through the process if you're applying here in Italy. Then there's something that's a bit complex about what is the definition of working. Working in Italy with Italian clients or European clients or working with a European company is a definite no-no. However, for example, if you're from the United States and you work with an American company that does not deal with European clients or Italian clients, and that you're only dealing with Americans, that you're only dealing with other people from your country and other countries that are not within the EU, you could technically work from your computer because you're actually not going to really be taking anything away from the Italian economy. There still is that technicality that you're not actually allowed to work. So there is that slight potential where things could maybe become a little bit messy. I would still be personally applying in Italy if I were to go through all of this over again. But the other thing that Rob mentioned about his wife wanting to find work that involves her Mandarin skills. It doesn't matter where you come from and what language skills you do have. If you don't have Italian language skills, a lot of employers are not really going to value those skills that you're able to bring to them. Because if people that are working together can't communicate, then they're not really working together. But to continue with Rob's message, my concerns are about finding some work and perhaps a bit about blending in. I fear being viewed as the bruto americano who barks orders for Coca-Cola with lots of ice. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to stop you there, but are you telling me there are people who do not drink their Coca-Cola with copious amounts of ice? I find this difficult to believe. I actually don't drink Coca-Cola, but I think simply, if you don't want to be seen as the bruto americano, don't be the brutish American. Don't be the American brute. As I've said in past videos, when it comes down to it, people are people here. Just treat others how you would want to be treated yourself. This is something that's really universal. Even with the example you gave of barking orders for Coca-Cola, please and thank you go a long way. Per favore e grazie. People do appreciate when you really try to do your best when you're speaking Italian. Learning Italian is not easy, but when you try to make an effort, it really does make an impact. So really, with fitting in, like I was mentioning before about work, learning the language does help a lot. It's something I'm still working on and I do struggle with, but I try, and people do appreciate that. And smiling at people doesn't hurt either. And if you're living in an area and people start seeing you on a regular basis, you're not going to be the tourist just visiting town. You're going to be the foreigner that's actually there trying to get by and just live there. But back to Rob's message. We do have relatives all over Italy and have visited quite a few over the last 10 years, so we love the lifestyle and are keen to assimilate and accept the good with the bad, which is a very good way of looking at things. It's important to stay realistic. It's very important to remember about real life, real everyday life, and not just the vacation side of Italy. There's a lot more to Italy than just vacationing here. But back again to the message. I have been searching for possible remote employment that can be done anywhere in the world, and that's actually something that a lot of people overlook. If you can already create remote work from where you're currently living and transition into that before you move, before you even buy your plane ticket, before you get your visas or anything, to make sure that you're able to earn a living in a new way that might be different for you. But let's get back to the message. So when it comes to legal issues like taxes, healthcare, renting or purchasing property, have you had luck with Italian lawyers or resources? I need some guidance and wondered about your experiences, good or bad. When it comes to renting, I have some experience with that, and be sure to check out my video about renting an apartment in Italy. Again, after this video, feel free to check that out. The link will be down in the more info section below. But when it comes to resources, there are websites online where you can go, like subito.it, but subito.it is kind of like Craigslist, and just like Craigslist, you've got to keep your eye out. There are scams out there. I'm not saying that Subito is full of scams. Just from what I've heard, there seem to be some that are on there. But if you can find English-speaking realtors, that'll be even better. I actually do know a few, so if you're needing any recommendations, always feel free to get in contact with me about that. There are certain processes in Italy that if you really aren't familiar with them, it's really good to have a professional that can help you, especially like with taxes, or if you're going through Jure Sanguinis, all of these things. If you're needing recommendations, always feel free to send me a private message. Even if you're not in the financial position, it may put you in a really bad position if you don't have somebody walking you through the system, or somebody who already knows it. It really can make a huge difference in your experience here, at least until the time where you can navigate it yourself. But if you are looking for somebody to help you through any of what I just spoke about, always feel free to contact me privately through email. You can go to rafaeldifuria.com/contact. And if I happen to know somebody who might be able to help you with whatever situation you might be in, I'll be more than happy to share that information with you. Or if I don't know the right person for you, I can try to help you find the right person. And then Rob, you also mentioned in your message about healthcare. I've only actually ever used the public healthcare system in Italy, and I've been very happy with it. But then going back to taxes, if you're an American citizen, you do still need to think about the American tax system and how things here might affect you back in the States. If you're making investments or anything like that, you potentially could be taxed on that. So it's very important to not only have an accountant who can do your taxes, but an accountant who is familiar with the expat situation. Actually, another relevant topic which will probably be of interest if you're wanting to move here and really make a life here is considering banking in Italy, because to purchase a home, to rent a home, it's going to be difficult to get anything done without an Italian bank account. But regardless of where you end up here in Italy, I really wish you all the best and all the best of luck. I'm just a guy out here that just wants to see other people succeed, especially people who are of Italian descent who to connect with their homeland, to connect with their roots. I think it's a very important thing to do. But even if you're not of Italian descent and have an appreciation for this beautiful country, I wish you the best of luck. And of course, if you would like to see more content about moving to Italy, Italian citizenship, and more, please be sure to subscribe with that notification bell turned on. And if you could also give this video a like, I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you feel like my videos have helped you in any way, maybe saving you some time, headaches, money, or if you've just enjoyed watching them, please consider becoming a monthly patron over on Patreon. You can go to rafaeldifuria.com/Patreon. Or if you just want to help out one time, you can go to rafaeldifuria.com/support. So if you are in a position where you do feel like you can help, please consider that. I would really, really appreciate that. And as always, I'm Rafael Di Furia, aka Rafi D is me. Thank you for joining me on another beautiful Friday night. I look forward to seeing you all next Friday. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you later.